What's up guys, I'm PawsBuild and welcome back to our Ethical Zoo franchise series in Planet Zoo. Previously we started an Oceania habitat, and in this video we're going to continue that habitat and make sure that 4 Oceania species can live together peacefully in an ethical habitat where everyone's happy. And we're also going to make a cool entrance to our zoo. They're all just cohabiting so nicely. They're so cute, aren't they? I didn't actually explain why they're all together either. If we look at them in the Zoopedia, which is, there's a shortcut here, or you can go up here to the Zoopedia, you can see that their interspecies enrichment, the emus benefit from being with all 3 of these species, and that doesn't mean that they're the only animals that they can cohabit with. Like the Quokka can only get a benefit from being with the emus, but they don't with the other 2. But they can still cohabit peacefully. It's just they don't like benefit from it. They don't necessarily, get that extra added joy of their emu friends. Look at them. They just love having the emus next to them. But I think it's probably to do with how they are. They probably, the Quokka, I don't know, but for example, they may be less vulnerable to predators if they've got emus around that are like scaring them off or something, and the emus, the Quokka might eat something that the emus don't like or something, that makes them benefit from being around each other, whereas the kangaroo and the Quokka can live happily together. I don't think the kangaroo benefits from them. No, but the kangaroo benefits from the other 2. So it's one of those where these all cohabit quite well in the same habitat. But oh, we're getting offspring. My goodness. You definitely one of our breeding ones, weren't you? Yes, unknown father, unknown mother. That's what we like. All the inspectors here. Please be nice. And we have a reward for adopting habitat species, so we might as well claim that. 1,000 zoo credits. What we need to do now is edit the terrain so that's exactly what these guys all want. We need to add a shelter or shelters, and we need to put some nature in to make this look a bit better. And we also need to get to know our animals. So I think we're going to do them one at a time. We'll get to know, oh, look at them. We'll get to know each animal and we'll do a bit of the habitat improvement. And that way we can learn about them as we go. The Quokka's bone structure with small jaws and protruding teeth make them appear as if they're smiling, which is so cute. And they don't fear humans and treat them with curiosity. As they don't have any natural predators, they lack instinctive fearfulness, which has resulted in a fad of Quokka selfies, popularizing the animal in online culture. Most of the Quokka's predators are introduced species and include dingoes, foxes, and domestic dogs and cats. Quokka females may remove and abandon a joey from their pouch when being pursued by a predator to create a distraction and increase their chances of escape, which is the most savage fact I think we've done so far in this series. The Quokka's main habitat, Rotnest Island, was named by a Dutch explorer. It translates to Rat's Nest Island because he thought they were giant rats. Unfortunately, quokkas are considered a vulnerable species, and their numbers have declined due to the introduction of predators such as pets, habitat loss caused by human development, and improper interaction with wildlife, such as the feeding of unsuitable items. Thanks to the popularity and internet hype of the species, there has been a recent increase in the amount of money spent on their conservation projects, because they're so cute. In their native habitat, protection laws have been put in place ruling that they shouldn't be touched, fed, or taken as pets, and there are ongoing efforts to restore their natural environment in some areas of mainland Australia. Let's have a look at the terrain that these guys need. So the emus, yes, they need more hard shelter, but they need more sand than we have currently. So let's put a bit more sand, especially around the emu area. I'm going to put it on this side over here. We'll add some coarse sand and then some fine sand as well. We've got them on 50%, so we can kind of just blend them in a bit. Okay, the kangaroos need a bit less sand, so let's take away some of the sand we just put in, so we find a happy balance between them. 10% is the perfect amount. Okay, all 4 of them are happy with this layout of terrain. I am going to smooth out the soil edges here with some grass, just so it's not quite so drastic. Okay, they are all happy with that. So we've just edited the terrain and made it so that this is the actual... It wasn't far off what we had at the start, but this is a terrain that they're all happy with. A red-necked wallaby joey measures 2 centimeters to 2.5 centimeters at birth and weighs only 1 gram. How crazy is that? Wallabies have multiple stomach chambers, similar to ruminants like cattle, which allow them to regurgitate food to chew and swallow again, which is so gross. Albinism occurs occasionally in the species. One population of the subspecies living in Tasmania is entirely albinistic. The milk of the redneck wallaby changes composition to match the current developmental needs of the joey, which is so cool. And redneck wallabies can independently rotate their ears up to 180 degrees to pick up sounds of predators. Thankfully, the redneck wallaby isn't endangered and its numbers are currently increasing, although it has been persecuted as a pest and hunted heavily for its meat and furs in the past. There are several wild populations in Europe and New Zealand that have been deliberately released or were founded by escapees from local wildlife parks. For the hard shelter, I want to put in something that uses the same Australian pieces as we have here. I may change it for the roof because the Australian roof pieces we have are kind of like rusty and I don't really know if that's the theme we want to go for, you know, with like rusted corrugated iron roof isn't really... Is this the best material? I don't know if it's the best material we could come up with. So we may look at something else, maybe even just the corrugated iron roof of that's blue and not rusted. But yeah, I'm going to build a couple of shelters, probably one here and then another one over here. So they've got a bit of choice with how they want to sleep. I think these shelters are quite good. I quite like them. I think, let's have a look at what the animals think of them. Okay, there's 100% of what they need. I'm looking at this hard shelter button, this hard shelter section up here. The kangaroos think the same. Where are the wallabies? Are you a wallaby? No, you're a kangaroo. This is the only problem with this habitat. You're small though. How I thought the wallabies were the smaller. Oh, the wallabies are all over here. Oh, look at them. Having a little bit of food. What a good view. I hope we're raking it in over here. 120. I mean, that's not... Oh, pause. Don't inbreed, please. You must be... Is this... Quandale. Stop it. You're always doing it. It's weird. Anyway, they're happy with the hard shelter. And what about our little tots right here? They are also happy. Everyone's really happy. Nutrition's... Oh, the quality can go up. Yes. Well, we shall continue our vet research, which we've been stopping lately because we've just been researching that disease. So let's put everyone back onto animals. And hopefully when these are done, we'll start researching our new animals that we've got, our habitat animals. And we can get some more enrichment for everyone and some better food quality. Look at these guys in here. How cool. Must be so cool to see them like that close. Everyone's enjoying it, which is good. It's quite big queues for our food. I think we probably need some more food and drink. Let's have a look at our zoo overview. Oh, they love the dome entrances. There's a lot of litter. Okay, it's time. Let's hire another caretaker. Go clean up the litter, please, because one of you's not enough. And let's assign you to the central hub. Everyone should be on the central hub. Let's train everyone up. Basically, how the training works as well is that when they go to the staff room to have their break, which is this ugly building over here, they'll start doing some training and improve at their job. Now, it does mean that their salary goes up. Oh, there's no one in the staff room. Look at that clock. That's cute. It does mean that their salary goes up, but that's fine. I mean, their efficiency goes up and that kind of earns us more money, especially if they're like a vendor or something. That earns us way more money because they can work for longer. So it's always worth just training up your staff, really, in my opinion. Yeah, we can definitely do with some more food and drink, I think. Let's see what else they've said. They're scorching out here, but we have put a lot more shade in, which is good. If we go on the heat maps and we go on temperature, you can see we have these tiny areas of dappled shade. Which is a bit cooler, and our animals in there can use, you've got the sprinkler, the water jet. It's very cold by the water jet, and the water generally is cooler. Oh my goodness! I'll pause the game. An animal has escaped. Did I just forget to fill this in or something? How is that gone completely? I mean, that's definitely on me. I'm a bit confused. Let's add in the wall piece, because it should just be another one of these. Right there. Okay, that should be good. I'm just going to check. Well, firstly, have no fear, guys. It's fine. I'm going to emergency capture them. We could call the vet, but it's... basically, they're just going to blow dart them. But let's just emergency capture for 1,000, and then they're already caught. Yeah, everyone's running to the escape, which I don't like because we've made a nice little home for them in here. Enjoy it, please. Okay, well, the kangaroo can't escape. The emus are the ones I'm more worried about as well. Kangaroos and the emus. They can't escape. And then we've just got our little ones. Okay, our wallabies can't escape either. Our quokka can't escape either. Cool. And look at them. They're all using the shelter. Oh, it must be cooler under here as well if we go on temperature. Yeah, it's much cooler in the shelters, obviously. I mean, they're not in the sun. Perfect. Emus can reach a top speed of 48 kilometers an hour, so you will never catch them. And emu males incubate the eggs and care for the chicks, which means we probably need some more male emus in our zoo. The emu has 2 sets of eyelids. One set is visible and is used for blinking, and the other set is transparent and used for protection from dirt, which I wish I had. The amount of time I get sand in my eyes or something similar. Emus are the only bird species with calf muscles, and in the 1930s, the Australian government attempted to utilize their military to cull the emus that were migrating through farmlands in an operation known as the Great Emu War. The Australian government officially lost this war. Thankfully, the emus are not endangered and they're classified as a species of least concern. They're numerous throughout Australia despite being hunted for resources and by pest control measures in the past. However, certain regional populations have gone extinct or at the risk of extinction due to human-caused habitat loss. So we do have to keep an eye on them still. Now, the final thing we need to do in this habitat is add some nature in. And it doesn't look like these guys want too much. We need to basically look at who wants the least amount of nature and make sure we don't exceed that. Okay, and the quokka, oh, okay, the quokka need some, so they aren't happy with 0. But it looks like most of them are kind of happy with a 50%-ish coverage. Okay, our kangaroo are the ones who don't want as much. So we need to make sure we kind of on the right-hand side of their limits. And we're going to be using plants from Oceania, Grassland. Oh, look at them! The red kangaroo feeding. That's so cool. Is this the wallabies as well? I think it's the wallabies and the kangaroo. Yeah, oh, that's adorable. Look at them having a good time together. Okay, we've just added in all of the plants and trees, and you can see we've got quite a good spread. This is hitting 25% coverage, which is pretty much the maximum that the kangaroos want, but is kind of in the middle of what everyone else wants, or on the lower end of what everyone else wants. So it's a good compromise for all of them together. And I think it looks quite nice. We've just added in trees from the Grassland Oceania area, because all the animals live in Oceania and they all live in the grassland. So, and it's also quite believable because the grassland trees would actually probably grow here because we're in the grasslands of Africa. So you'd hope that they would grow here anyway without too much additional care needed. But yeah, we can check our final, check that everyone is definitely happy with everything. These are the red kangaroos. So they're happy with 25. Our emus are also happy with 25. Our quokka are happy with 25. And our redneck wallabies are happy with 25. So everyone's good with this amount of coverage. Now we just need to make sure, the only thing we can do now to improve their habitat for them is to research them more as animals and improve it with enrichment and better food. Red kangaroos often live in the desert areas of Australia, and as such can withstand temperatures of up to 44 degrees C. Female kangaroos can store a fertilized egg and delay getting pregnant until their previous joey has left the pouch, which is called embryonic diapause. And female kangaroos can be pregnant, have a newborn joey in their pouch, and have an older joey still milk feeding from them all at the same time, which is so cool. Red kangaroos can go through 4 sets of molars in their lifetime, and they're the largest living species of marsupial. Thankfully, the red kangaroo is prolific in Australia, so it's not necessary to have efforts in place to preserve the species. Now, the kangaroos are occasionally culled to control the population, but it's strictly controlled, and anyone partaking in it has to have a license to make sure that they maintain a healthy population size. I'm quite happy with our multi-species habitat for the Oceania section. I think they're doing really well. Look at them all living together happily, just hopping around. We did forget to put bins in though around it. Oh, and we've got animal welfare issues with our... Oh, no, they're okay. I think our keepers are struggling to do all of the rounds. So we perhaps need some more keepers. But what I was going to say was we forgot to put bins in around the outside, and you can see that the general public have already started littering, which is not good. So I'm going to pause the game, go to facilities, and then go to bins, benches, and security, and put in some Australia bins just around the outside so they can stop defacing our paths. Okay, I think that's sorted it out. We've put a lot of bins in now, so hopefully that will stop the litter. Now, let's have a look at our staff. How many keepers we got? We've still got 3. They're all... Okay, one of them's struggling. Okay, and they're all maxed out. Let's get a 4th keeper, and we can assign them to the central hub too. And hopefully, with a 4th keeper in rotation, everyone should be good. I'm also just going to train up all of our staff to the next level for those who aren't. But most of our stuff are doing pretty well. And then I think it's time that we spruce up the entrance to our zoo, because at the minute they just kind of spawn in out of nowhere, and we've got this bit of path that we were going to lay, and we have enough money now where I think we can spend a little bit on the entrance and make it look a little bit more realistic. Ooh, just had a boa constrictor baby. They're being managed automatically, so we don't have to go check up on that. Now, I started making this thinking I was going to want some kind of road access to try and build a bit of a road that leads to the zoo entrance. But the more I built, the more I kind of realized that maybe it doesn't make much sense because we're just in the middle of nowhere and the road kind of just stops at the end of the map. So I decided I'd do more of an off-road vehicle approach. and you'll see I start to build the off-road vehicles that the guests are actually arriving in, which I think would be a really cool way to arrive to the zoo. And I've tried to do it in a way that's still probably reasonably accessible, in that they'll use ramps to get off of the Jeep trailers. But I know it's not an ideal solution to get to a zoo, but I kind of feel like there's not much we can do in this case because our zoo is in the middle of nowhere in like the African grasslands somewhere. So they need transport to get here, and they won't really work with any other, like every other vehicle in the game needs a road to go on, and there are no roads. And then once I finished working on the transport to the zoo, I wanted to give our zoo a nice, big, prominent entrance and also keep it in kind of a modern, still fairly environmentally friendly theme. So we've used a lot of the modern wood pieces and using the information centers kind of as like ticket booths as well as information centers. And one thing that really annoyed me was I wanted to have a separate entrance and exit, which you'll see I tried to do with the signs, but the game lets the guests in and out of both ticket entrances, so I just let it go that on one side it's an entrance, and then if they're leaving it's an exit. But that's fine, that's how a zoo would reasonably work too. It's just you would normally have a bit more organization to it. Probably not in my zoos though, let's be honest. My zoos are never that organized. And there we go. I feel like this is quite a cute, simple little entrance and exit for our zoo. We'll obviously put some trees in around the outside. That's not done yet, but we're going to do that a bit later as we do more of the trees together. Because I like to box in our zoos a little bit with trees. And my thought for this was to put something on top of the spawners that's a bit more plausible about how guests got here rather than just kind of blinking into existence. And I feel like these could do the trick because look where we are. I mean, what kind of car or bus could actually get out here? It's gonna have to be some kind of off-road vehicle. And this way, all the people can happily get in the trailer and be pulled. Obviously, some people could get in the car. Then there's a ramp, which I know a trailer isn't particularly disability friendly, But at least with a ramp, we've got a bit more chance if we're extra careful and put some extra precautions in. We could get people there safely. But I don't really see how you could get here otherwise. Look at it. I mean, where's the civilization? How far did they have to come? Why are they coming so far to this zoo, which has like a few animals in it? But, you know, I'm not going to question it because they're spending money. Oh, I put this one too high. I had to move these around a fair bit to get them to actually work with the situation we have. But if I sink this down, I just need to delete this path. The paths are a bit finicky in the game. It's a bit annoying, but I feel like everything does work now. There we go. That's better. That's joined on now. So now they're not floating as well. There's not some steps thrown in there for no reason. So they've got a bit of an entranceway. They just back up onto here. And there's a ramp that people can place here and they can walk out. I'm assuming this is just like a rubber ramp or something that the staff put here when they park and they can get off. But it means that the guests will kind of spawn and walk off them. So, and I just feel like that's a bit better than what we had before. Now, another thing we need to look at is vet research, and they are plowing through this, which is great, which should mean we've unlocked some stuff. Yeah, we've unlocked 2 enrichment items. Now, I'm going to leave it until they finish researching these animals, and then we can maybe go back to our bat habitat and improve it so that it looks a bit better than the current wooden situation we have now. I want to make this look like a cave that they'd have in the wild. But to do that, I also want to put in all the decorations first. Well, they're not decorations, the layout items that give these guys enrichment, basically. I want to put them all in so we know where they are, and then we can start decorating it a bit. Another thing I want to do is go back to our capybara, maned wolf, and giant anteater habitat. Oh, they're about to have offspring. Perfect timing. And I want to add in a viewing dome. So I think we'll do this before they give birth. And then we'll have time to, the guests might be able to get in and sneak a peek to get a close look at them. So I'm going to put a viewing dome in. Well, I should probably place the entrance first, shouldn't I? I think I might put this. I'm assuming it probably needs to be powered. Or does it? Maybe it doesn't need to be powered. I was going to put it on this side somewhere, though. And I think I might whack it here, where we have this little section. So I'm going to whack that there and tidy it up so it fits in with everything. And then we can add a little dome in the habitat so the guests can have a better look at the animals. There we go, just improved the viewing of it, and I believe Clementine is still over here, about to have her baby. Oh, I think it's time. She's starting to sit down, she's getting uncomfortable. Got the maned wolf right behind her. Is that Stilts or Ginger? Either way, oh, she doesn't want you there. Please move. Oh, that's not helpful, is it? Interspecies enrichment, I'm not sure. Oh, here we go, they're here. Look at you. Oh, it's one. Got lots of names on the name list for you. Maybe we should rename you. And another one, Francisco. Oh, was that a third one, or have you already been named? No, that Diego's 1.1. Okay, whew. We've got a bit of animal renaming to do, though. Look at the 2 little babies. Aww. We're gonna name this one Bob, and this one Sully. Thanks for the name suggestions, everyone, and please do continue to leave them in the comments. We've got lots of animals, including all our Oceania animals in here, which do need names. So I am listening. I will put them on the name list, and you may see your animal name get into the zoo. Look at them. They're so majestic. I mean, the emus are a strange mix between majestic and freaky. And I kind of dig it. If you guys have liked this episode, please give it a like. It really helps the channel out. And I'll see you in the next one.